One thing that I've learned while doing this work is that it's important to celebrate small successes. It's kind of human nature to focus on the negative and focus on where we get stuck, and we forget to really take the time to acknowledge those successes. Things happen in small increments sometimes in this field. It can be lonely, and it can be effective to reach out and to even vent, right, or to seek advice or validation in what we're doing.
The biggest surprise is how many victims there are and how many cases there are that are unreported.
We all want to be there for everybody that needs us. We struggle with the same people, some more than others, but we're all trying to do the best that we can.
Some of the biggest surprises for me have just been that it is, a marathon and not a sprint. There's a lot of this hurry up and wait. So you're wanting to meet this deadline and you're wanting to fulfill this particular obligation, and then there's just a lot of dead space. Learning some patience and exercising some patience and realizing that this is going to be a really huge endeavor, and something that's going to take quite a long time to accomplish and kind of see through to fruition.
The first time I went into a jail, I guess the scariest part was every time that I walked in, they closed the door. I walked into another area. They locked the second door. And then my first thought was, if something happens, how am I going to get out of here? Once I got into the classroom, then he showed me the intercom system, told me, so if you need any help or you need us to do anything for you, you can just call through the intercom. And I actually had a situation where we had an inmate that needed support, and I called the intercom and they showed up right away.
When we don't know enough about a particular group of people, we tend to judge them. And so I really want to challenge myself to suspend judgment and learn about people that are different than myself, and really just connect on a human level with people.
There's a lot of terminology you have to get used to. I remember my very first time, the guard said, okay, instructor, the bodies are ready. I was like, okay, am I in the wrong place? Because I had never heard anyone refer to people as the bodies.
A lot of our obstacles right now are communication with the prison. We're changing we call them COs, but correctional officers, how they respond. So they have it in their eyes how they used to respond, and then we are changing how they respond now.
This is new for correctional facilities, us coming in as advocates, and it's important to know our limitations and that it's their facility. You're coming in as a guest. You have to respect where they are. It doesn't change our role and what services we're supposed to provide and what we do for our inmates, but also to really understand that this is a learning curve for them, and it's going to take a while for them to really understand the full impact of our good work.
I started off working with prisoners, very early on in my early 20s, and that work was very challenging and difficult at that time as well. But I think today a lot of the joy comes with seeing the programmatic and systematic changes, and being able to really hear the success stories today it's a different perspective. It's a different story. The best feedback that I've had so far is from my fellow advocates regarding training that is needed and success stories.